The overall theme of EDF 2015 is exploring data integration. Where do you see the greatest potential for business cases and societal impact regarding innovation around data integration?
I think there's a lot of potential, in particular in personalization systems, trying to adapt the services and products to individual users, but also, and that's most importantly what's coming up at the moment, in decision support. So trying to have more data-driven decisions. Decision makers are more and more interested in being able to base their decisions on really data, actual facts, and substantiate their decisions, right?
And what are your favorite success stories regarding data integration from data from different sources or different types of data?
Actually, at the Luxembourg Institute of Science and Technology, we've worked on various types of applications, from the financial sector, working on risk management, aggregating data, the e-health sector, and so on. But you can see, I think, a very interesting case we've worked upon, which is related to education, to try to overcome the barriers for students moving from one country to another by aggregating semantic data sets from multiple sources, and also trying to process raw text and relating a text from a textbook to different sources. And you can see also a very nice application which has been used to support the conference, which is aggregating social network data on all participants. And that's a very interesting kind of cases. So we are trying to address essentially transactional data as well as statistical data, census data, and so on in a variety of applications.
So this year is the 4th edition of the European Data Forum. What do you like about the forum, and what is its importance for the European data economy?
So we are hosting the conference together with other institutions here in Luxembourg. We've decided it was really interesting to us to try to boost innovation, because it's quite a unique venue where you can find a very significant number of industrial representatives, but also representatives of the academics environment, and political decision makers. So you really have all the components that are important to actually move the data economy. People in charge of regulations, people in charge of the technology, and people in charge of trying to make the data economy something viable for the future.
Done to go even further, so beyond the EDF, what will propel the European data economy on European level?
I think, so we heard the talks of Mr. Hansen and Mr. Oettinger this morning. I think there were keywords around infrastructures, data, and skills. And it's really important for everything which is done around research, industry, and most importantly, innovation, to try to bring the technologies that have been developed so far, to try to bring them to market, and to also make sure that we have a critical mass of people well aware of what they can do with data, how they can interpret data, and so on. And one of the major issues at the moment is, for instance, interpreting the kind of output we can get when you're doing predictions and so on. And for this, you really need to have collaborations between technologists, between technologists, social scientists, researchers, entrepreneurs, and people specialists of innovation.
So there are two popular trends today, big data and smart data. So what are the biggest challenges facing these trends in Europe, in your view?
I think the what makes the data really smart is that you're able to make sense of them. And as I was saying, it's very difficult to interpret when you have a lot of data. You can have many kind of visualization techniques and so on, but really making sense of this requires actually to have collaborations with social scientists, also knowing how people react in front of data. So the whole decision-making process that needs to be taken into consideration. The other point is really to be able to aggregate data from different environments. And we're kind of tackling the mass of data. We need to tackle heterogeneity and really being able to process both transactional as well as static data, such as statistical data, for instance, and linguistic data also. So all this is really still a challenge, but it also opens quite a lot of opportunities, and the technologies are really good at the moment to be able to create actual services to users.
And regarding these two trends, is Europe a leader in them? And in which ways would you see Europe as a leader?
So in one way, so in Luxembourg, for instance, we're a very interesting country because we have people from many nationalities living in Luxembourg, and we have people who commonly speak Luxembourgish, French, German, but also English. So we have to create tools and products which already encompass the multilingual environment. We also have to deal with the multiplicity of data sources, and all this is critical to actually be able to make sense of data in the future, and we have this, whereas other regions do not have that kind of environment. So we don't have, in terms of market, we can be provide very interesting cases to develop innovative services.